Can you imagine finding someone right outside your front door overdosing on heroin, not knowing if they will live or die?
A video released by Upper Darby Police in Pennsylvania this week is going viral. And a warning here, it's hard to watch. The video shows 25-year-old Michael Meany shooting heroin into his arm while riding on a crowded bus at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
It really is an incredibly sad story. Mom and Dad, no IDs right now, but Mom and Dad, about mid-30s, went to bed in apartment 204. It's the bottom one right down there in building 503 there. They went to bed. Monday night was the last time anybody saw them. Door was locked, and they were found today dead. Possible overdose.
My administration is officially declaring the opioid crisis a national public health emergency under federal law.
Man, I think I found a way for the fucking news media to be able to report on the goddamn heroin epidemic. We need to get Russians to start selling motherfucking heroin or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe then, you know what I'm saying, they'll cover what the fuck is going on out here in regular fucking America. But unfortunately, the Russians aren't selling fucking heroin. Is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, 2017, 78,000 people died of fucking overdoses in America. You know, not a real big fucking deal. Yo, let's start the goddamn show. Alright, so we're going to approach this from a different fucking angle, alright? We're going to start off where we left off with my last fucking heroin fucking video, which was the heroin and Ritalin motherfucking mix, right? I want y'all to take a look at these two maps. This map here is a map of the, you know what I'm saying, the amount of fucking Ritalin that's prescribed to fucking children, alright? I think that's an important map to look at, and everybody should honestly know about it, right? The second map is a map of the fucking heroin epidemic. Short of Nevada, everything else kind of just fits in fucking place like a goddamn glove. Ain't that fucking strange how you prescribe a whole bunch of kids fucking medication and they end up being fucking drug addicts later on in goddamn life? I find that to be some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? There is legitimately an entirely too much fucking opioids were given out in the fucking 2000s. In 2010s era, you know what I'm saying? At one point, it was like 255 million fucking prescriptions were given out for fucking opioid prescription, or given out as opioids, you know, to the regular population. That's fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? Legit. You know, there's only like 320 million Americans. Like it's like 77% of fucking Americans could have fucking had a fucking opioid prescription. But it wasn't really the case. It was more like, you know, like fucking, something like 66% of Americans were on the fucking drug. But at one point during the fucking year. And that's going to lead to abuse, going to lead to problems. It's going to lead to a heroin epidemic like we have right now. But I also want to get into the Ritalin, all right? Because I'm going to tie this all together in a nice bow for you. As a man and as a kid, as a boy, you know what I'm saying? I like to understand why shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I wanted to know why things worked. I wanted to know how shit worked. I like to tear things apart. You know, like you tear apart your cars. You tore apart your fucking walkie-talkies when you was a kid. I tore apart my fucking computer. I tore apart everything I ever owned when I was younger. Like, my mom was so mad, she'd come home in the VCO be in fucking pieces. It's the type of dude I am. I want to know why things work. You know what I mean? I'm a weird motherfucker like that. So I got a fuck ton of information because I always have a hypothesis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see some shit and I apply what do I know about this thing to what the fuck it is we're discussing at the moment. And I got a shit ton of information about this. I went, you know what I mean, I spent like the past 3 or 4 hours just sitting here researching, looking stuff up, checking shit out, seeing what's going on, you know what I mean, fully seeing what the situation is. And you know, I started looking into things and I thought it was really fucking odd. You know what I mean? Legitimately, like fucking legit ass fucking weird how in 2016, healthcare providers across the U.S. wrote more than 214 prescriptions for opioid pain medication, a rate of 66.5 prescriptions per 100 people. as many as 1 in 5 people receive prescription opioids long-term for non-cancer pain in primary care settings. More than 11 million people abuse prescription opioids in 2016. Every day, more than 1,000 people are treated in emergency departments for misusing prescription opioids. More than 40% of all U.S. opioid overdoses in 2016 involved a prescription opioid. Drug overdoses claimed the lives of nearly 64,000 Americans in 2016. Nearly 2/3 of these deaths involved a prescription or illicit opioid. The CDC estimates the total economic burden of prescription opioid misuse in the United States is $78.5 billion a fucking year, including the cost of healthcare, lost productivity, addiction treatment, and criminal justice involvement. In 2017, 72,600 people died from an overdose. Now, so that's the heroin side of things. Some information for you, some basic facts. All right, now I want to get into some other shit that I find fucking mind-boggling to me. In both Medicaid and ESI populations, which is fucking people who employer provided insurance, the percentage of children 2 to 5 years old receiving clinical care for ADHD increased over time. However, during 2008-2011, the percentage of Medicare beneficiaries receiving clinical care was double that of the regular beneficiaries. Although state percentages varied, overall nationally, no more than 55% of children with ADHD receive psychological services, regardless of insurance type, whereas approximately 3/4 receive medication among children with ESI. The percentage receiving psychological services following the release of the guidelines decreased significantly by 5% from 44% in 2011 to 42% in 2014. The change in medication treatment rate, 77% in 2011 compared to 76% in 2014, was not significant. Attention deficit hyperdisorder, a neurological disorder with childhood onset characteristics, developmentally inappropriate levels of inattention, hyperactivity, and/or impulsivity, and persuasive significant function, whatever, right? A whole bunch of nonsense. Right now, approximately 2 million received a diagnosis before the age of 6 years old. Among children prescribed by their parents as having severe ADHD, half of the cases were diagnosed by the age of 4. About 2 million of the more than 6 million children with ADHD were diagnosed as young children aged 2 to 5 years old. Children with severe ADHD are more likely to be diagnosed early. Now, let's slow down a second here, all right? Because, see, what I did was I started doing some research about some things. All right, first off, I'm gonna tell you some adverse side effects of ADHD medication, right? Just because I think it's important to throw these little factoids into your head. It will actually reduce the growth rate of a human being, all right? It will make you shorter long term, right? Secondly, ADHD can also cause anorexia, problems eating, stomach aches, emotional outbursts, and all types of other type of bullshit. They're considered non-life-threatening problems, side effects. All right. Now, the FDA has not approved it for use in cases of children under the age of 6. I'm going to say that again. The FDA has not approved the fucking drugs for kids under the age of 6, but they're still giving them out. And when they can't have kids swallow them, they give them fucking patches and put them on their fucking sides. So it's just seeped into their skin over a 9-hour fucking period. Right? Among children with ADHD, 62% were taking ADHD medication, ages 2 to 5. Oh, by the way, the number of kids who were the number of people who are taking the fucking drug under the age of 18, 4,229,000. Just so you know, under the age of 18. All right, that's, yeah, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only like, I think 40 million people under the age of 18 right now. You know what I mean? Something like that. I think that's the number. I think it's like 40 million kids are under the age of 18 at the fucking second. Yeah, just so you know where we are. All right, that's a significant portion, right? The percent of the children with ADHD were taking ADHD medication, ages 2 to 5, 18%. 18% of them are taking fucking medication. 6 to 11, 69%. 12 to 17, 62%. Now, I want you to understand this. instead of standing here and like, you know what I mean, like just representing it the way it's supposed to, they represent an average, right? Which is fucking retarded, okay? The percentage of children 2 to 17 years of age with ADHD who received behavioral treatment was 47%, right? Ages 2 to 5 was 60%, 6 to 11, 51%, 12 to 17, 42%. Among children 2 to 17 years of age with current ADHD, about 77% receiving treatment, right? About 30% with medication alone, 15% received behavioral treatment, about 32% of children with ADHD receive both medication treatment and behavioral treatment. So, you know, altogether it's like 62% right now. You know, that's overall over the whole fucking thing. You know, I mean, it's a higher number for the older kids because older kids are harder to get the behavior fucking things because, you know, they're older kids and they're a pain in the fucking ass to get to do anything, right? Now, here's the thing. Now, see, the number of fucking cases of fucking ADHD and fucking Ritalin being prescribed for children has increased 4 or 5-fold since the 90s, all right? Now, but the opioid prescription to children remained basically the same from the 90s until now. It's actually going down now. And that's a big fucking thing. Legitimately, that's a fucking huge damn thing. And it's something that you should, you know what I mean, really be looking at. You know what I mean? Fucking, because it's how, like, when you start looking at these numbers and shit, it all starts telling the tale. Using a large prescription database from 2008, a total of 24.1 million stimulant prescriptions, things like Ritalin and Adderall, were analyzed across all 50 states. Right? And here's the thing, yo, these numbers are really hard to get a hold of. And that's some fucking bitch ass shit. But the real number right now is around 40 million prescriptions, right? It's fucking ridiculous the amount of shit that's being handed out, right? Overall, a total of 2.5 children nationally were being treated with stimulant medications, with the rate being higher in boys, 3.5% than girls, 1.5%. Again, you see back to this fucking retarded ass average thing. Boys receive more. This is why when it comes to overdoses, men are dying at a much higher rate than women are, okay? And this is kind of how you prove this shit. Like, you go, all right, well, you know, fucking, you see all these individuals who, you know what I mean, are fucking dying from heroin overdoses, of being addicted to illicit drugs later on and abusing prescription drugs later on, and, you know what I mean, exhibiting drug-seeking behavior because they're being forced off their parents', you know what I mean, insurance, and they don't have the ability to continue to have their brain be fucking fucked up from, you know what I mean, the Ritalin. And it's not a addictive substance, it's the way that their brain was fucking coddled, so they're trying to, it's a disassociative thing, all right? So they want their brain to continue to be clouded and disassociative, you know what I'm saying? They want their brain to continue to be able to do shit, and the opiates will let you just kind of hide from everything and not have to deal with any of the fucking shit that comes through. So, right, this is a big fucking thing. You know what I mean? Because, so if you were on this since you were 2, which is fucking obscene, you know what I mean? Imagine when you get off the fucking insurance when you get older, all right? And all these rates of all these things, right? The rates of fucking increased use and shit of this nature, it follows a couple big things. Number one is the single mother head of households. All right, which has seen the most hugest increase. It's huge. It's huge, right? You've seen the largest increase of anybody, you know what I'm saying, in our nation, of any part of the population, right? Its growth is exponential. And the same with this. It's because individual single mother households are standing here trying to raise kids, all right, by themselves, in particular trying to raise boys, and they don't have the ability to do so, and they're not going to stand here and swallow their pride and go, hey dad, you need to handle this, because they get a fucking check every month for it. Didn't we just stand here and go over how the individuals who are on the fucking prescription or the public dole are the individuals who have the most amount of these type of things? There are also individuals who will stand here and have specialized education plans for their kids, all right, so they don't have to do as much work with them. These are fucking massive things. This is Gyno-Centrism at its finest, legitimately. You know what I'm saying? Gyno-Centrism at its fucking goddamn finest. There is nothing, you know what I mean, that is any more gynocentric than this nonsense. So, on top of that, you add to the fact that men are running, not walking, running out of the teaching profession right now. Legit, just fucking woof, gone. They're out. You know what I mean? They don't want anything to do with being a fucking teacher anymore. All right? They're so scared of getting Me Too'd or fucking called a goddamn pedophile or having some individual, because, you know what I mean, some kid comes up and they're crying, whatever, and they want to be able to go, oh, come on, man, it's going to be all right, and give them a hug. They can't do that shit because it looks very bad, and somebody can just accuse them of whatever bullshit, and they'll believe them. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, yo, we got this massive Munchausen syndrome inside of America. Coming from the single mother head-hold fucking households. So I guess what I'm saying is, really, honestly, when you really get down to it, all this shit, every motherfucking ounce of it, comes from feminism, gyno-centrism, and single moms. All this boils back directly to it. And I hope this is enough evidence for y'all to see all this. Legit. It's up to you. You make your own decisions. I'm just here to give you the evidence. I'm going to leave everything in the description. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fucking end of the video here. You know what I'm saying? They'll go sub to my boy AP's channel. He got nuked. You know what I mean? Somebody went and fucking reported him like a little bitch because they didn't like him. You know how the hell shit works. In the meantime, man, this is Tom Pease with Pinoid News. Y'all know the motherfucking deal. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that Streamlabs link, and fucking Merry Christmas. Peace.